Good morning, Titans. We have a ton of information for the end of the year, especially for seniors, so stay tuned.
Today is Wednesday, May 14th, and you're watching OlyTV.
In between the lines, there's a lot of obscurity. I'm not inclined to resign to maturity. If it's alright, then you're all wrong. But why bounce around to the same damn song? You'd rather run when you can't crawl. I know, you know that I'm not telling the truth. I know, you know they just don't have any proof. Risk the deception, learn how to bend your worst inhibitions, then psych you out in the end.
Softball and baseball playoffs are this Thursday, May 15th, tomorrow, with soccer playoffs on Friday, May 16th.
Attention seniors, again, many of you owe money to the cafeteria. If you owe money to the cafeteria, you cannot walk at graduation. Pay your unpaid cafeteria money in the lunchroom. It's to the right of the cafeteria lines.
We have a couple of important items for seniors. First, graduation day is Wednesday, May 28th at 10 a.m. at the Huntsman Center. Show up at the tunnel at 9 a.m. Remember, there are only certain academic cords that you can wear with your cap and gown. You should have received a list in the mail of which you are allowed to wear. Seniors, cap and gown pickup is Wednesday, May 21st during lunch in the alumni room.
Senior cotillion is this week, and it's on Thursday, May 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. This is for seniors only.
Graduation practice is Tuesday, May 27th, right at 7:30 a.m. It's only an hour, but there will be some very important things you need to know, so seniors, show up. Remember, students, there is a historian assembly on Thursday, May 22nd in the auditorium.
Also, yearbook night is on Thursday, May 22nd from 3:30 to 5:30 in the football fields, and make sure to enter through the commons.
There will be no school on Monday, May 26th due to Memorial Day. Enjoy your day off and thank your veteran family members for their service.
Students, you'll be happy to hear that the last day of school is May 27th.
I hope everyone here has been keeping up on their Duolingo streak.
Actually, I've been seeing a lot of people quit that app.
How come?
Here's Asher to tell you more.
The scare of AI taking people's jobs is becoming more valid by the minute, with Duolingo just having announced that they are replacing their human contractors with artificial intelligence. Although sources say this has actually been happening since 2023, the recent direct announcement of Duolingo going AI first instantly sparked outrage and, well, I guess that's nothing new, but it does say a lot about the future of entry-level white-collar jobs. That being, they might not be available in the future. The rationale for this, stated by their CEO Von Ann, is that limited human staff can't make enough content to educate the entire world like their mission statement suggests. Having AI work in video calls and content creation not only makes those processes much faster, but also makes them always available. Although it seems like that's not going to make the general public any happier about this issue.
Thanks, Asher.
Now on to sports and entertainment with Lucas.
Thank you, Talon. Now starting with some entertainment news, Marvel released Thunderbolts a few weeks ago, and here's the aforementioned Talon with a more in-depth report of the movie.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, Marvel released Thunderbolts, and surprisingly, it has been receiving very positive reviews.
What I got once I saw the movie, it actually was so refreshingly nice. It brought me back to the days of the old MCU.
And man, I am happy to say this is a really good movie. Like, we're talking top 10 MCU level good.
Yes, I watched it. The MCU is back again. But let me start yapping. Let's get Thunderbust.
So I thought I would give my thoughts on it. Spoilers ahead. Here's a quick plot summary of the film. After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes must go on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the deepest, darkest corners of their pasts. Thunderbolts has a very thoughtful theme on depression, loneliness, and the pursuit of purpose. And I really do think this theme is like there in the first few seconds of the film.
There's something wrong with me, an emptiness.
Yelena's monologue at the beginning of the film is where it kind of started, I guess. John Walker is such a lovable a-hole. For those who don't know, John Walker, aka US Agent, was first introduced in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and was a government-issued replacement for Captain America. He murders someone in the show and the movie does not go around it and pretend like it's not canon. Someone asks him, "Didn't you kill an innocent man?" To which he responds, "Define innocent," which is an actual argument people had online after that episode aired. Ghost was here, she was good, but I don't have much to say beyond that. I feel like she got the least amount of character development in this film. Taskmaster was done so dirty, oh my gosh. In the trailer, they edited her into scenes that take place later in the movie, when she literally died in one of the first scenes in the movie. Bucky was here as well, and he's a member of Congress, now which was established in Brave New World. The scene of him in the desert was great, the action was nice, they just make him extremely OP and sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Now we get to 3 of my favorite characters in this film. I'll start with Alexei. Every moment he's on screen is just a joy to experience. He's so lovable and has such a heartwarming relationship with Yelena. Him wanting everybody to join together as a team is such a great part of the film. David Harbour is just also a really good comedy actor. I wanted to see him in more comedy stuff.
I click leave on porch. Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Now let's talk about Yelena. Yelena is phenomenal in this movie. Her emotional scenes really work and had me actually crying in the theater. The "Daddy, I'm so alone" talk she has with Alexei is just so good. I can't do this scene justice. Oh my god, it's so good. Florence Pugh does a really good job in the role and really conveys those emotional scenes, which really landed because of her performance. I really can't wait to see. Oh my god, I can't wait to see her in Doomsday. And now, Bob. When we are first introduced to him in the bunker, we don't know much about him. But over the course of the movie, we slowly just start to discover who he really is as a person. It turns out Bob has a very traumatic past with an abusive father and him addicted to meth. He signed up for a shady experiment known as the Sentry Program, and it turns out every single person that signed up for it was killed except for Bob. And he wasn't even supposed to be the main candidate. He was just one of the guinea pigs. The team tries to fight him and they get absolutely demolished. Then the main villain, Val, quote unquote, kills Bob, but he comes back because of the Void. The Void is a physically manifestation of Bob's deepest traumas and his mental illness. He is also able to send people to their worst memories. His design is great. It's the perfect mix of terrifying and menacing. Earlier in the film, we get a small glimpse of the Void's powers in the bunker scene. We get an insight on the team's deepest traumas. John Walker's trauma room is when he lashed out on his wife. Yelena is getting her friend murdered for a mission for the Red Room. And Val was seeing her father get killed. This movie is also really good at continuing the stories of these characters from when we last left them. It does a great job at dropping little hints about each other's backstories as well. It does a good job at dropping little hints about each character's history. The team actually feels like a team as well, which is something the director really did well, and apparently he's supposed to be directing the next X-Men film, which is amazing. The Void was great, and the climax of this movie is amazing and extremely emotional. I was not expecting the climax to end the way that it did. I gotta wrap this report up, Mr. Miller's gonna kill me. One last thing before I leave though. At the end of the film, we find out that the asterisk in the title is a placeholder name, and that the real name of the team is the New Avengers. I won't reveal the post-credit scene because it's insane, and you also should go see it for yourself. With its compelling characters, great action scenes, and really emotional message, Thunderbolts, or you could call it the New Avengers, is definitely worth seeing, and it reminds me of that old Marvel. We really needed this type of quality in this roller coaster of Phase 4 and Phase 5. That's all I can say without spoiling the movie even more. This is an amazing film, it's worth it. I give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, bye.
Part of this script was written by Xander J. Nelson. I expect my royalties to come in by the end of the month. Thank you, and good night, Tri-State Area.
All right, thank you, Talon, for the insightful review, and if you hadn't seen the movie, we are terribly sorry. I saw it a few weekends ago, and I absolutely loved it. Florence Pugh was incredible as Yelena, and I thought the cast had a great chemistry. The movie is a superhero movie, but has quite a powerful message about mental health. I give it 4.5 stars out of 5, and that is your non-spoiler review after the spoiler review. In other news, there is a menace running amok in New York City. Or is there? Here's Xander with more.
Good morning. I'm Xander J. Nelson with the Bugle Reveille. Our top story of the day? Spider-Man. After a recent skirmish with the monster commonly known as the Lizard, aka Dr. Curtis Connors, many New Yorkers are beginning to question whether we truly need masked vigilantes such as Spider-Man patrolling our streets, including newly elected Mayor Wilson Fisk, who has called for the wall crawler's arrest. Mayor Fisk claims that we don't need a man who dresses in a spider outfit to keep our city safe, and that the actions of vigilantes such as Spider-Man or Daredevil do nothing more than endanger our city and the lives within it. And after the wall crawler's most recent tussle, many are beginning to agree.
What do I think of Spider-Man? Can't stand the guy. You see that fight with the lizard yesterday? I was late to work because half of 34th Street was ripped out of the ground. What I think of Spider-Man is that he should quit the whole vigilante gimmick and leave the real hero work to the police. Spider-Man no more, I say.
But other New Yorkers are against this notion of Spider-Man's actions. These people claim that the masked vigilante is only trying to help our city be the best that it can be.
I don't think you can really put all the blame on Spider-Man. I'm sure he did his best. I mean, I'd like to see you stop a giant rampaging reptile without at least a little property damage. That thing was putting people's lives in danger, and I'd rather have to drive the long way to work than not go at all. You feel me?
But what are your opinions on our local spandex-clad vigilante? Is Spider-Man some hero whose only crime is wanting to help others, or a malicious menace who seeks to spread chaos and terror all throughout our fine city? Call 212-555-SPDR if you have any information we may use in any future Spider-related news segments. This is Xander J. Nelson with the Beagle Reveille, signing off.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you, Xander. Now moving towards sports, hockey is the big story here in Utah. Just recently, it was announced that the hockey club is rebranding after their first season in Utah. I put together a report that goes in depth on the decision and things you will see coming. Our new hockey team finally has an identity. After spending their first year as the Utah Hockey Club, it was announced last week that they would be changing their name to the Utah Mammoth, and they hit a home run with the logo and the branding. It's been incredible what ownership has been able to do, and it has only been little over a year since it was finalized that the Arizona Coyotes were relocating to Utah. With the time constraints of simply getting ready for next season, there wasn't a whole bunch of time to create a brand and a mascot for the team, which is why they were just the hockey club. Obviously, getting practice facilities and the Delta Center ready for hockey was of utmost importance. So during a pretty successful first season in Utah, the ownership left the team name up to a fan vote. Originally, it was assumed that the Yeti was going to be the name, but after a copyright issue with the company Yeti, which makes water bottles, it was not an option. So the final three team names that were voted on was the Mammoth, Outlaws, and Hockey Club. Owner Ryan Smith said that the Mammoth name ran away with the voting. So why the Mammoth? It pays homage to the large amount of mammoth fossils found in Utah, which is very unique to the state. Then, in the logo, you can see they incorporated the Rocky Mountains into the head of the mammoth, along with a state outline on the left. It is a very clean look and already one of the coolest logos in the NHL, a league known for good logos. They also have very unique secondary logos with a U and a tusk, and also a state outline logo which pays homage to their first season. For jerseys, their road white jersey will remain relatively the same, with Utah running diagonally across the front and the Mountain Mammoth logo on the shoulders. Their home black jersey will change though, with the Mountain Mammoth logo front and center and the state outline logo on the shoulders. No doubt, Ryan and Ashley Smith have done an incredible job with the relocation and team branding. The Utah Mammoth are going to be one of the most supported teams in the NHL, and you can tell that Utah fans are going to be passionate for years to come, especially if the team continues progressing towards the playoff and a potential Stanley Cup. So, are you happy with the rebrand? It's been cool to see the support of the team from the community. And while one Utah franchise is happy, the other one is in complete meltdown mode. After their worst season in franchise history, the Utah Jazz lost the draft lottery and fell to 5th, meaning they won't be able to capture the flag. Many are calling the draft lottery rigged after the Dallas Mavericks won with an odds of 1.8% of getting the number 1 pick. And finally, let's go through a quick recap of what's going on in the NHL and NBA playoffs. In hockey, the Carolina Hurricanes are up 3-1 over the Washington Capitals. The Florida Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs are deadlocked at 2 games apiece. The Dallas Stars have taken a commanding 3-1 lead over the Winnipeg Jets, and the Edmonton Oilers have a 3-1 lead over the Vegas Golden Knights. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second year in a row, winning the series against Cleveland in 5 games. All the other series are still going on as the New York Knicks are looking to upset the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, as they have a 3-1 lead. The Oklahoma City Thunder narrowly took a 3-2 lead in the series over the Denver Nuggets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves can advance to the Western Conference Finals in 5 games tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Whether it's going to see Thunderbolts, knowing everything that happened, or watching the playoffs, have a great weekend as school comes to an end. Let's head back to the desk.
I'm sorry. Thanks. Now on to the weather with Cade.
And thank you, Talon, for spoiling the entire Thunderbolts movie. To start off on Wednesday, we'll expect it to rain a little bit with a high of 50 and a low of 43. On Thursday, it gets a little sunnier and the weather starts to warm up with a high of 61 and a low of 47. And on Friday, we can expect it to even get warmer without any sun with a high of 65 and a low of 49. On Saturday, still warms up without sun with a high of 70 and a low of 48. On Sunday, Utah weather strikes again with it cooling down by 18 degrees with a high of 52 and a low of 45 with some rain expected. On Monday, you can expect some more rain with a high of 58 and a low of 46. On Tuesday, it warms up again with a high of 69 and a low of 47. Now back to the desk with Talon and Cruz.
Anyways, that's all from me. Wait, never mind. Thanks, Cade.
And thank you for watching. Subscribe to OlyTV and follow our Instagram for all updates around Olympus and beyond. Have a whimsical Wednesday, Titans.
Oh yeah, that's probably gonna be like that.
Yeah, like do that. Sure? No, like, that's good? Okay.
Go.
It's recording. Julie, you know what you did? That was so